Hi everyone, today I want to talk again about the new teasers that the creators leaked to us on the network, so everyone enjoy watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Here we go. Just like last time, I found some teasers for you that the authors show us, so let's discuss them. The very last teaser will give a lot more information than you think, so watch this video to the end. Not too long ago, Gooseworx published a very strange and mysterious image that was most likely meant to give us a hint or clarify something about the future episodes of the amazing Digital Circus. But what did the secret teaser mean? Most likely, Gooseworx once again wants to let us know that episode 3 will be darker and sadder than any of the others we've seen so far. We also know that Gooseworx reports that this weird post was a preview of how she wants all of her future work to go. "I'd really like to go crazy and do something really horrible and evil," are the words of the circus creator. Yes, that's exactly the kind of not-so-optimistic mood the creator of the Digital Circus is in, which we should get over. But on the other hand, we are still lucky. Maybe after the Digital Circus, Gooseworx will create content with the mood from this image. Okay, let's talk about the darker moments that will be in episode 3. First of all, it is most likely that one of the main members of the circus will be abstracted in this episode. We know this information because the show's creators have already said that in one of the future episodes they want to show the full process of abstracting a character. Since previously we have only seen about the process of abstraction from Pomni's dreams. Now we are likely to see how it will happen, what state the character will be in, how other characters will feel about it, and much more. Just a reminder that the third episode will be about Zooble, and she's probably the one who will be abstracted in this episode. The only character who is likely to be at least partially abstracted in this upcoming Haunted Mansion adventure. You ask me, how can I be so sure that Zooble is abstracting? Gooseworx actually gave us a huge hint at the next abstraction. Fans once asked her, which circus member is closest to insanity? Since we know that madness goes hand in hand with each character, the question remains only about the timing of when each character in the Digital Circus is abstracted. This is also how the authors answer that of all the characters, the one we would not suspect is closest to insanity. If the creator had explicitly said that, we wouldn't have believed her. So based on the 2 episodes, the character we wouldn't have thought of is of course Jackson Zooble. But since the evil rabbit got episode 6, that leaves only Zooble. Zooble has not been in the circus as long as the others, so also the madness has not consumed her much. It's time to sound off on the next teaser. As we all know that Glitch has its own website, I already told you about it, so there the authors showed us this teaser, which shows that in the future episodes of Jax are waiting for changes related to his attitude to the characters of the circus, namely, with female characters. The creators have provided one of the secrets behind the scenes image, which can be found on their website. The creator of the series showed us a new side of Jax that we may not have been paying attention to. Most likely with this post, the creators want to tell us that Jax had real issues with the female gender in real life. One fan pointed out that Jax has basically decided to bully the girl characters in the circus, rather than the boy characters, to which Gooseworx informs us that this problem is actually part of Jax's problems. These are problems the writers want to address in future episodes. We are all well aware that Jax is an unusual character that the writers have not yet fully developed as a person. The writers have also made it clear to us that this show is primarily about exploring each of the characters in more depth, but the upcoming episode starring Jax suggests that Jax is one of the most important characters in the episodes of the entire season. After all, as Gooseworx notes, Jax is a very troubled man in general, and we're yet to learn about his dark side in full. Well guys, in the next teaser we're going to talk about a character that has stayed in our hearts, and that Kane mercilessly destroyed with just a snap of his fingers. To be more precise, we're not talking about Gummigoo, but about a character he's very much connected to. And yes, it's not Pomni, I think you've already guessed that. It's Gummigoo's mother. The showrunners themselves have confirmed that Gummigoo's story is not over yet, so we can only guess how Gummigoo's mother and Gummigoo himself will return to the series. Perhaps we will be shown the story of how his relationship with his mother actually continues after his death in episode 2. Perhaps we'll get to see Gummigoo's story through flashbacks. These images show the past relationship between Gummigoo and his mother. Gummigoo's mother is mentioned several times in the second episode, so perhaps she is the next new character who turns out to be the key to Gummigoo's new story. Gummigoo's mother is the most mysterious NPC. Gummigoo also points out that his mother is the only character from the entire Candy Canyon area that is strangely not included in the non-player character system. This fact may tell us that things are not so clear-cut with Gummigoo's mother. In the upcoming third episode, we'll likely learn more about who Gummigoo's mother really is and her role in the backstory. I think the whole backstory of Gummigoo and his mother will begin at the beginning of the next episode, because we were also given new previews for the show that told us how the third episode would begin. The opening scene of the new episode was shown by a clue found in their new video, which shows the circus members as plush toys. During the most important scene of this new video, we see the one character that Kane destroyed in the second episode of the show. Gummigoo finally returns briefly to reunite with Pomni on stage, but it doesn't last long as Kane snaps his fingers again and Gummigoo dies again, leaving behind the same trail of confetti we saw in the previous episode. Pomni is once again freaking out over her friend being killed in front of her once again. Also, I believe that episode 3 will start with the continuation of Gummigoo's story after his death, as the show creator has given us more teasers about his return. Well, it's time for our final teaser, which is taken from some of the early scenes of this new episode. It confirms what we will actually see in episode 3. Gooseworx provided a brief synopsis that revealed that something bad is going to happen to the character of Gangle. Something terrible is really going to happen in this third episode because of the new ghosts from episode 3. We know because she recently released a statement saying that something in episode 3 made Gangle scream for some reason, as a reaction to something that happened to her. But we also know that there were more revealed scenes that were much more important. They tell us about some new monsters that we will see in this third episode that have been a big secret until now. It turns out that Gooseworx recently hinted that the new monsters from episode 3 might look like ghosts similar to Martha and her dog. But who will these new monster characters from episode 3 even be? The questions remain open, but we already know quite a bit of information that gives us a gist of the overall upcoming picture. Thanks to everyone who has watched until now. Now just for you, I want to highlight one user's theory that I really liked. What if Kaufmo was an NPC Jack snuck in undetected? The only holes in the theory is other characters have apparently previously abstracted, but there's nothing to say they weren't potentially NPCs either. Part of me thinks that Kinger, just flat out being crazy, mistook several NPCs as real people and brought them along with him, unnoticed by Kane and the rest of the crew because abstraction hadn't occurred yet. On that note, mayhaps that's why Kane was so aggressive killing off Gummigoo. Kane actually does know exactly why characters abstract, that being that they have no soul, and after a while their eye breaks, causing the abstraction. Kinger has been there the longest, and he's been just fine despite everything lol, leaving me to believe that humans can't abstract at all actually. AI might break forever, but a human can regain sanity after their sanity breaks. I really don't buy into Kane keeping a living being trapped in a dark underground forever either. That doesn't fit his character if you ask me. So, what brings me to think Jax brought in Kaufmo? Jax seemed to care the most about Kaufmo, all while probably realizing he was an AI the entire time. I think they shared a lot of violent tendencies in common, and that's why they were so close. Ragatha doesn't like Jax's jokes, so it makes sense why she wouldn't like Kaufmo's as well. It's why Jax was so dissatisfied with the Candy Carrier mission. It wasn't the mission Kaufmo would have wanted, and he was probably extra offended Pomni found a friend in Gummigoo, much like he did with Kaufmo. Jax knew Kaufmo more than anyone. That's why he was too emotionally distraught to attend the funeral, and couldn't let his persona slip. Jax does deeply care about everyone despite this facade, but he will not let his character slip at any cost, because then others could target his vulnerable side and coax him into breaking character more. It's all just a theory though, and I honestly can't wait to see how things actually do play out in future episodes.